I've been currently looking for a new job. On the 28th of this month, it will make 2 years at my current job, and I just feel so stagnant where I'm at. I feel like there's no room for me to grow. I've been in Tennessee for 15 years. I'm ready to leave Tennessee. God calls the unqualified, okay? So I'm going to apply even if I don't have that on my resume that y'all saying I need, because if the job is for me, God is going to provide me with that job regardless of if I have the experience or not. So I started applying for jobs in Birmingham, and when I tell you, I think I just started applying like a month and a half ago, and I've had so many callbacks, so many emails, so many interviews. Like it's been good. Like the feedback has been good, the process has been good, and I'm just thinking like, well, maybe this is where God, you know, wants me to be in this season, somewhere in Alabama, because why am I so close to Nashville not getting any callbacks, and I apply to places in Alabama and I'm getting back to back. And also, since I am applying for jobs in a completely new city and state, I'm looking at places to live, like places to move, because my life can do a full 360 within a matter of a month if I get a job that's good for me and I'm good for the company, you know. What's up, you guys? It's your girl Missy Magic, and I'm back with another episode of In the Life of Missy Magic. To my new people, hey y'all, I'm Missy Magic. To my magic beauties, welcome back, y'all.
2:30, baby, won't you meet me by the beam? Too early, maybe later you could show me things.
So the last time I did a sit down video, y'all, I was manifesting my life, and the fact that I am sitting here in front of y'all living in my answered prayers, I can't do nothing but smile. So I kind of wanted to just get on here and just really just give y'all a whole rundown of just my life lately. Like, I've been in Alabama 2 months next week. Can y'all believe I've been in Alabama for 2 months? Can y'all even believe that I moved to Alabama? My man got me to move to Alabama. And do you know what a man like has to do for you to get me to move? Like, my man does what a man is supposed to do. Like, he is a full provider, protector, everything that I could ever want in a man. So my last video, let me actually get it pulled up so we can just, you know, go through and just be patient with me. I'm gonna sit down and talk to y'all for a good little minute, because you never know who needs to hear this. So the video that I am referring to was a life update. And this video, as y'all see here, I posted this video on February the 24th, 2024. And I entitled it Life Update, Manifesting. Rebrand, new city, new place, new job. So I started applying for jobs in October of 2023, so the end of last year. Now, if you're new to my channel, me and my man, we've known each other for about 15 years, but we've only been together for 6 months. So when I started putting in applications in October, I was applying for jobs in Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. Those are the 2 states that I was applying in, Texas and Virginia. I've always wanted to live in Texas, and I think I even mentioned this in my life update where I was manifesting everything in my life. I've always wanted to live in Texas for some odd reason. Like, I've never even visited Texas. Never even had like a layover flight or anything in Texas. It's always just been Texas, specifically Dallas, Texas, because I'm a country girl, but I also like the city life as well. I like a nice little balance. So, you know, when me and Bae, you know, get married, have our kids, build our house from the ground up, I want our house in the country, but only like 15-20 minutes from the city. That's what I want. So it's always been Dallas, Dallas, Dallas. So when I was applying back in October 2023, I got like one, I wouldn't even say it was an interview, it was like a personality test, because you know a lot of the jobs, they do personality tests now to see if you will work, you know, if your personality will work well with the personalities that are, you know, already in that field, I guess, or like whatever team you're going to be working for, because I had to do a personality test for my current job. And so I did a personality test and I didn't get it. Like, everybody was literally denying me. And mind you, every single application that I put in from October up until April was for positions that I have no experience for. If you don't know, I did graduate from Middle Tennessee State University with a bachelor's degree in finance, and I double minor. My major was finance and I double minor in real estate and I want to say business administration, something like that. So I was applying for jobs that I had no experience for. However, I had the education. I had the degree in finance and it was written on paper. That's all I had. And I had faith. That's what I had, literally. So once the holidays started coming around, because I went back home to Mississippi for like Thanksgiving and Christmas. So once the holidays started coming around, I actually started to slack up on my applications. But the more I stayed at my job, the more I hated it. And the more I disliked the people that I worked with. And I just disliked the commute. I disliked my job in general. Like what I did, I didn't like it at all. And the customers were difficult to deal with sometimes too. So when you're going into work and you're going into a place where you don't really care for the people or you don't like your job at all, it makes life miserable. So with me feeling like that, once the new year came in after I got back from my cruise, I'm like, it's time to buckle up. It's time to buckle up and get down to business, because if you don't put the work into finding a new job, it's not just gonna come to you. It might, but 9 times out of 10, you gotta put the work in to whatever that you want out of life. Most things are not handed to you. Hell, water is not even free in some places, you know? So you gotta work for almost everything in life. So after I came back from my cruise, I'm like, it's time to buckle down, okay? It is time. I don't like where I am in life. And I had started to look back like, wow, I'm 25. Am I even doing well in life? Which I am, you know. We are our own worst critics, baby. And once you stop comparing your journey to somebody else's, then you're gonna be all good, okay? Because comparison is definitely the thief of all joy. If you never heard that, it's definitely some truth to it. So by the time January rolls around, Bay is in the picture. In the picture as in, we done started, like, I guess you could say liking each other, talking, whatever the case may be. So I was still applying to jobs. Yeah, I'm cold. I gotta turn this air back up. I had to turn it down because I got hot. But hold on, let me go turn this down. Or turn it up, I think. Yeah, up so it can be cooler. I mean warmer. So y'all, by the time, I don't even know what I was saying. By the time me and Bae started talking, really we started talking on Christmas, which is the end of last year. By the time me and Bae started talking, I think I was still applying to jobs in Texas, because I had it set in my mind that I was moving to Texas. Like, I was looking at houses and everything. They were super cheap, like $250,000 houses. And I was, you know, planning on buying a house, moving there, and never looking back. I kid you not. Don't know. Well, I got one cousin in Dallas, and that's it. So I was set on it, and I was like venting to Bae, basically saying how like I was getting very discouraged because I wasn't finding a job. I was telling him like, I'm trying to move to Texas. I want to move to Texas. Yes, he was in the picture, but my mind was still set up on Texas. And that's the thing. We have so much in store for ourselves, which, don't get me wrong, is nothing wrong with having personal goals. However, the point I'm trying to make is, when God has something for you, it's going to be for you. And if it's not for you, he's not going to bless you with it. So clearly, God did not want me in Texas in this, you know, stage in my life, because I'm not in Texas. So Bae had gave me some advice. He was like, well, if you're struggling to get jobs in Texas, why don't you apply to like the next states down? So as you know, Tennessee is here, and we have Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. So I took his advice. I knew I didn't want to go back to Mississippi, so I didn't do any jobs in Mississippi, but I did look some up, but there weren't any that was in my field or in like the pay range that I was looking for. So I did Alabama and Georgia only. So in Georgia, I strictly did Atlanta, Georgia. That's all I did, because I have an aunt that stays in Georgia and outside of Atlanta, Georgia. So I was like, okay, if I get a job here, then I'm able to stay with her until I get on my feet. So I only did Atlanta, Georgia. And that's another mistake too, because that's me reneging on my faith with God, because even if I had got a job in Georgia that was nowhere near any of the family that I have in Georgia, I would have still had to put my faith in God and know that he was gonna make everything okay. So when you say you trust God, you gotta make sure everything that comes out of your mouth reflects that faith that you have in him. Because saying that you don't want to move somewhere because you have nobody, that's you reneging on your faith. If you have so much faith in God, why are you worried about not being able to survive somewhere by yourself? Living proof. I mean, I got Bay, and I do have a few family members here in Alabama, but I don't really conversate with them that much. But it's okay to move somewhere where you know no one. Okay, so back to the story. Now, I will say for Alabama, when it came to filling out applications, I was only applying in Birmingham, Alabama, because I knew that was a big city, and I felt like there were more jobs in Birmingham versus like the smaller areas outside of Birmingham. So I was applying strictly in Birmingham, Alabama. That's it. Got quite a few callbacks and quite a few interviews and everything, and once those interviews started rolling in, I was like, God, you might be on to something, because I was getting a lot of callbacks and I spoke to a lot of people. Like, a lot of the jobs that I didn't take or didn't even go through like the interview process, because they were a lot of sales jobs, and I was trying to get away from sales. I don't like sales. I'm not proficient in it, so I was trying to stray away. It's so crazy because I ended up, you know, applying to the job, the company that I work for now. It was for a completely different position that I'm working in now, because the position that I applied for, it wasn't really in my field. But I had got to the point where I'm like, okay, God, it don't even matter, you know, because I just want to do something that I like. I want to do something that I enjoy, even if it's not in the field of finance, because I can use this experience, put it on my resume, and go somewhere where I can be working in my field. So it was just so crazy that the role that I have now is not what I applied for. So I had to actually come to Alabama for the interview in person for the job that I have now. I did apply for, well, I did interview for the position that I applied for, but they also interviewed me for another position based on my background that was on my resume. My degree in finance is specifically what caught their eye. So came for the interview, and it's so crazy because I made a video sitting in their parking lot, very defeated, because I'm like, the things, they are mass manipulators in the interview process, because they will make you think that you don't have it, and then you start being not confident in yourself. So I made a video in their parking lot. I started my vlog after I had the interview with them. It had been like maybe like 3 weeks. I heard nothing from them. Mind you, I had went through the interview process for another company, and they like completely ghosted me. To this day, they have not gotten back to me and told me that I did not get the job, and told me that they are going with someone else. But what I think they're trying to do, since they didn't get back to me and tell me I didn't get the job, is trying to hold on to my application for when they truly need somebody. But I hadn't heard from this company for 3 weeks, and they had scheduled a Teams call. So technically this was my second interview. The second interview, and they literally called me after I got out of work that same day and gave me an offer. Offered me way more money than I was making in Tennessee, and it was also more in my field. And it's just amazing. It's just amazing that in that video that I made in February that I was manifesting. Yes, I was already in the process of getting interviews, but I didn't know when I was going to get a job in Alabama. I didn't know if I was ever going to get a job in Alabama. But my faith stayed strong, and I continuously trusted in God. And I told him, I don't care if it takes me a year to get away from this job. I have to go. So don't let the lack of faith stop you from getting blessings, because here I am literally living in answered prayers. And I remember I moved back with my mom in 2021, July to be exact, and I said to myself, the next time that I move out of my mom's house, I want to have my own house. Here I am. It's me and Babe's house together. Here I am living in answered prayers. I have a good paying job where I don't have to deal with face-to-face rude customers. I do have to deal with, you know, feisty people, but it's through email, okay? I get to start working from home once I hit my 6-month mark. I've been there 2 months already. And they're talking about adding a second work from home day. So 2 days work from home. We're going to pray they add that second day. I have a wonderful, amazing man that I did not know God was going to just mysteriously, magically bless me with in this time of my life. Everything is just working out, you know, and I'm living proof that if you have the faith and if you just trust, it will work out. Now, I did a Bible study lesson based on like my whole life transition, so y'all need to stop. Well, I ain't gonna say stop because you need this video too, but once y'all done with this video, y'all need to go check this video out. It is a moving vlog, but towards the end of the video I actually taught Bible study, and the Bible study lesson might bless you. So now let's get into how Alabama has been treating me. So I've been at my job for 2 months. I enjoy it. It's super hard. Some days I come home and just want to cry my eyes out because it's so hard. Mind you, it's because I'm doing everything that I've never done before. I applied, like I said, to a position that I had no experience for, and I'm so glad that God saw fit to have them see something in me to give me the job. Job is going amazing. I'm able to sleep in longer because it takes me max 25 minutes to get to work. The earliest I can get there is in 15 minutes. I love that I don't have to commute an hour there and an hour back. And that's another thing. When I used to tell people that I go to work an hour there and an hour back, they would look at me like, oh, it couldn't be me. You're right, it couldn't be you because you don't know how to sacrifice time and sleep and gas to go commute to this job so you can get somewhere better in life. Now look at me. If I would have never, you know, commuted, I wouldn't have, for one, the discipline that I have now, and I would not have the drive. Okay, the drive to continuously excel in life. You know, you could tell who has a real drive about them, because a lot of people, they would not commute to a job an hour there and an hour back. But mind you, the city that I was living in, the jobs weren't paying anything. You know, I'm gonna say like $15 an hour is probably like max is what they pay, unless you're in a factory. You know, and why am I settling in a factory if I went to school and worked hard, you know? But that's neither here nor there. Don't never say what you won't do, because you never know when you might have to. Okay, you might be in a situation one day where you don't have no choice but to commute an hour to and from, and you was just telling me that can never be you. Don't never say it can't be you, because God will easily show you how it could always be you, or one day be you. So the job is wonderful, you know. It's somewhat in my field. It's a mixture of a lot of things. It's a mixture of finance, customer service, data analyst. It's a mixture of a lot of things. So I'm definitely getting a lot of experience. And my manager and the team there, they are amazing. When I tell you, the lady that's training me, because I'm getting like all of her accounts. And when I say accounts, that means like businesses. So I deal with like small business owners, basically. She has trained me so well, and what I love the most is they don't mind training you. They don't mind teaching you. I didn't have that at my last job. It's like I had to ask to be trained on certain things when it was, you know, people's job to train me on certain things. I don't want to have to ask you to do your job. If you are supposed to train me on certain things, then I need you to do that. I don't want to have to ask, can you teach me how to do this? Can you show me how to do that? No, that's not my job to ask, you know? So I love that I'm not being like put in this bubble to where I cannot grow. You know, they teach me everything that they teach me everything that they know, and they don't have any issues with me asking the question 50 million times, because I'm not the only new one on the team. There's another lady, she's like a month ahead of me. But this, I love it. I have no complaints at all. It's so chill, it's so laid back. My manager is not a micromanager. I literally be at work, responding to my emails, doing my reports, everything that I need to do, watching YouTube videos or listening to music or listening to a podcast, whatever the case may be. I can eat lunch at my desk if I want to, or I can take my lunch whenever I want to, you know. It's just, I love it. Like, I have no complaints, and God, I thank you for blessing me with the job that I like, you know, with people that I can be, you know, cool with. And, you know, our house, that's the next blessing. Beautiful, amazing. I love the location. Literally, like, we out in the country. I love it. I haven't been doing any like real updates on the house as far as like getting stuff, because I'm preparing to go out the country for my birthday. But the house is amazing, literally. Like, me and Bae were blessed. I'm telling you, God has been in the blessing business for us all year. What else is new since I've moved to Alabama? I have not really just explored Alabama, because I just want to be in the house on the weekends sometimes, because July is like jam-packed for me. So I didn't do anything this weekend. Next weekend I'll be home. The following weekend me and Bae are actually gonna go out. I don't know what we're gonna do. And then the next 2 weekends after that, I'm gonna be out of town. So I haven't just really explored Alabama yet, but I am gonna get to the point where when Bae's on at work on the weekends that he do work, I'm gonna go out and explore, even if that means just driving around, so I can just know where certain things is, go to different stores, try new restaurants without him. So I don't mind going out by myself. It's just, I've been on go since the year came in, so when I got time to relax, I want to just freaking relax. That's all I want to do. What else is new? Just, life is amazing. Like, I think I like this little life. And as you can see, your girl is glowing. Like, my man got me, like, he is a man. And that's another thing, like, living with a spouse. I thought it was gonna be the hardest thing ever for me, because I know how I am. I'm picky, I'm real clean, neat, and I just like everything just how I like it, you know. But it has been amazing. It has truly been amazing. And as the days go by, it just really, like, I'm not gonna say it confirms it, because, you know, we still gotta go through a few things together as a couple, but it just really makes me feel like Bae is really like my soulmate, and he was made specifically for me. Like, he's like my best friend. But living with a spouse, it's amazing. In my situation, it's amazing. And you couldn't tell me 2+ years ago that I would be living with a man right now, because I was set on not living with a man until I'm married. But that's why you have to be really specific about what you say, because I used to say I'm never living with a man, not until we married. But look at me, I ain't got no ring on my finger and living with a man. That's why you never say never. But I love it, you know. I wouldn't have it any other way. And it kind of made me feel better, or more comfortable and protected living with him, versus like moving 4.5 hours away from my mama and living by myself, because I got somebody here, you know. But life has been amazing since I got to Alabama, and I know for a fact that this is exactly where God wants me to be in this season. I'm gonna tell y'all this story, and then I'm gonna close out the video because I feel like I done talked y'all heads off long enough. So when I first got my job offer from my job, I told myself that I was not just going to accept the first job offer if it was not where God wanted me to be. Yes, I wanted to be closer to my man because I didn't want to do long distance. However, I was not going to accept a job if it was not the job that God had for me in this season. So I prayed about it. I said, God, if this is the company, the location, the city, the state, the job title that you have for me in this season, God, I need you to give me three signs that this is all for me. And then I got to thinking, in a few minutes later, I prayed again. I said, you know what, God, I know I asked you for 3 signs. However, I want you to make one of those signs be a blue duck. I was watching my cousin Tamara's channel, and she said that she needed like answers from God, so she was very specific with her prayer. So that's what made me get very specific, because you don't just see like blue ducks out of the blue. So when I asked him to let me see a blue duck as one of the signs, I wanted to be very particular on what I wanted that one sign to be, because I didn't want to just say a red building, because if you go out and you drive, that's easy to see. I wanted to think about something that you don't really see in everyday life, because it's like I wanted a clear answer from him. So the next day after I got the job offer, I went to work like normal. So at my previous job, we would get like random emails from like different businesses trying to promote their business. And that would be from like all different places. Now, this specific email that we had received literally the day after I got my job offer had it was a advertisement for a daycare. Y'all, it had the city and state that I had got the job offer from. The exact city and state where the job had just offered me a job, exactly where they were located. It was the city and state in that email. I said, what? And I was spooked when I first saw it, because mind you, we had always gotten random emails from different businesses, but it had never ever been one from Alabama, ever. This was the first time. I said, okay. And I don't know why I was spooked, because you know, asking you shall receive. I asked God for signs, and he got down to business. Okay, so few minutes later, y'all, this like 18-wheeler like delivery truck like came in front of my job. Mind you, we're in like a plaza at my previous job, so we have businesses outside of us. So of course we always have delivery trucks, sometimes coming to our business and sometimes coming to the businesses that surround us. However, the delivery trucks never like stopped in front of our building. It's either to the left to where you can't see it, but you can hear them pulling in, or they will go straight past and won't stop in front of the building. This particular truck stopped in front of our building. They were delivering to somewhere to a business to the left of us, but it was so long they had to stop in front of our business. The company logo was on that truck, y'all. Mind you, this was like a few minutes after I had just saw that email from that business that had that city and state in that email that matched the city and state where that job had just gave me a job offer, or offered me a job offer. I said, you know what, God, that's all I needed to see. You just gave me these 2 signs back to back. I don't even care if I see the blue ducks or not. You gave me these signs back to back. I'm going to accept the job offer. So that following weekend, so I think this was like in the middle of a week, but like that Friday or that Saturday, me and my mama were headed to Mississippi, and she was asleep, so I drove the whole way. And so we were like, I think like 2.5 hours into our drive, and we on this old country dirt road headed to Mississippi, and it's a 1-lane road, and it's a blue Jeep headed to, well, yeah, it was a blue Jeep. The blue Jeep was headed to us, and y'all know how they had like all the little ducks in a row. Yeah, it was 2 blue ducks sitting right there beside each other. Right there beside each other. Mind you, I had already accepted the job by now, but that was just confirmation that I am exactly where God wants me to be. And once you start listening for God's voice, listening to those signs and getting confirmation for God, you will always make the right decision. And I wanted to be very intentional with my next job. I didn't want to just accept it because it was more money. I didn't want to accept it just because it was closer to Bay. I wanted to make sure it was right for me as well, because Bay didn't care if I got a job in Alabama or not. He knew he wanted to be with me, and we made it work for long distance for 4 months, and we would have made it work if I never got the job in Alabama. So he had already made that known, like, listen, I don't care where you at. Wherever you get a job, we're gonna make it work. So I was not pressed. Like I said, I wanted to be closer to my man, but I wanted to be very intentional with my next job. I didn't want to hate it, okay? So yeah, that is my story. That is my testimony. And if you need encouragement today, baby, just know that the storm don't last always, and God makes no mistakes. God will always redirect your paths if you are going the wrong direction. Learn to talk to God. Learn to pray. Learn to ask for those signs and ask for that confirmation so that you can be on the right path in life. And like I said, if you go the wrong direction and you listen to the flesh over him, he knows how to redirect your paths, you know? So just have faith, trust him, and everything is gonna work out. But that is it for this video, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next episode of In Life with me, C Magic. I'm your president, straight out of the trenches,